Hello again everyone, welcome back to the Radio Online presented by English Club of Banking Academy. It's been a while since we did the last broadcast and we really miss you guys. That's why today we are back with excitement, enthusiasm, promising to bring you more interesting topics. I'm Ling and my partner today is Huang.
That's right, and we'll convey some interesting information about one holiday throughout the show. Before that, let us give you one question, and you have to guess the topic we will inform you. It will be super easy though. Alright, here you go. What is arguably the creepiest event in America in the year? One clue. In that day, you will often see the children knocking the door of the neighbors and shout, "Trick or treat." You will have 5 seconds to shout out the answer. Go!
Alright, thumbs up. Don't want to keep you guys waiting any longer. We will give out the answer right now. It's Halloween. You know, Huang, Halloween reminds me a lot of mysteries, creepy stories, and the death. Whenever I hear about those stuff, I just suddenly have goosebumps.
Yes, and it's time to get spooky, my friend. You told me before that you're scared of anything horror pretty easily. So I guess this holiday is not for you, Ling.
Well, you may be right. Actually, I'm really curious about this event, the history of it particularly. Do you have any idea about that?
Haha, you're asking a walking encyclopedia, girl. Just kidding. I have read a lot of books about that holiday, and I'm willing to share this with all of you right now. Straddling the line between fall and winter, plenty and paucity, life and death, Halloween is a time of celebration and superstition. It is thought to have originated with the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, when people would light bonfires and wear costumes to ward off roaming ghosts. In the 8th century, Pope St. Gregory III designated November 1 as the time to honor All Saints and Martyrs. The holiday, All Saints' Day, incorporates some tradition of Samhain. The evening before was known as All Hallow Eve and later Halloween. As time went by, Halloween evolved into a secular, community-based event characterized by child-friendly activities such as trick-or-treating. In the number of countries around the world, as the days grow shorter and the nights get colder, people continue to usher in the winter season with gatherings, costumes, and sweet treats.
Wow, I'm surprised by your knowledge, Huang. How can you enlighten me a little bit more about the origins of Halloween?
Well, I'm really glad that you are eager to know more. I also have an article about that right now. Let me see. Oh yeah, there it is. Halloween originates back to ancient Celtic festival of Samhain. The Celts, who lived 2,000 years ago in the area that is now Ireland, the United Kingdom, and northern France, celebrated their New Year on November 1. This day marked the end of the summer and the harvest and the beginning of the dark, cold winter, a time of the year that was often associated with human death. Celts believed that on the night before the New Year, the boundary between the world of living and the dead became blurred. They celebrate Samhain on the night of October the 31st, which was believed to be the day when the ghosts and the dead returned to Earth. In addition to causing trouble and damaging crops, Celts thought that the presence of the otherworldly spirit made it easier for the rules, the Celtic priests, to make predictions about the future, for people entirely dependent on the volatile natural world. This prophecy was an important source of comfort and direction during the long, dark winter.
Wow, go on!
By 43 AD, the Roman Empire has conquered the majority of Celtic territory. In the course of the 400 years that they ruled the Celtic lands, the two festivals of Roman origin was combined with the traditional Celtic celebration of Samhain. The first was Feralia, a day in late October, when the Roman traditionally commemorated the passing of the dead. The second was a day to honor Pomona, the Roman goddess of fruits and trees. The symbol of Pomona is the apple, and the incorporation of this celebration into Samhain probably explains the traditional bobbings for apples that is practiced today on Halloween.
What else?
By the 9th century, the influence of Christianity has spread into Celtic lands, where it's gradually blended with and supplanted the older Celtic rites. In 2000 AD, the church would make November 2 All Souls Day, a day to honor the dead. It is widely believed today that the church was attempting to replace the Celtic Festival of the Dead with a related but church-sanctioned holiday. All Souls Day was celebrated similarly to Samhain, with big bonfire, parades, and dressing up in costume as saints, angels, and devils. The All Saints' Day celebration was also called All Hallows or All Hallow Mass, from the Middle English All Hallow Mass, meaning All Saints' Day. And the night before it, the traditional night Samhain in the Celtic religion began to be called All Hallow Eve and eventually Halloween. That's all in the information about it in the article.
That was an interesting history of Halloween. I like that a lot. I hope that goes with our audience as well. You have to talk a lot. Drink some water, Huang.
Much better. So Ling, is this article helpful to you?
Do you really have to ask that questions? It is. Now I have some stuff to tell other friends of mine. Thank a lot, Huang. In return, I will tell you and the audience a little bit about the activities people often do in this day. I'm not a big fan of history, but I know a lot about the things that they would like to get involved in.
Sounds great. Let's get started, Ling.
You need to wait a little bit. Well guys, we will be back after a short break. Stay tuned.
And we're back, guys, with tons of fun. Now Ling, do your job.
Okay. As far as I can remember now, the activities about Halloween in USA are pretty abundant. One thing that cannot be ignored is the dress-up event.
Of course, they will get dressed in some of the spookiest costumes that they can come up with in order to scare people out, right?
Yeah, that's true. Do you know why the dress up has become so important in this event?
No, how come? Can you tell us?
Yeah, you know, hundreds of years ago, winter was an uncertain and frightening time. Food supplies often ran low, and for many people who are afraid of the dark and the short day of winter are full of constant worry. On Halloween, when it was believed that ghosts come back to the earthly world, people thought that they would encounter ghosts if they left their homes. To avoid being recognized by the ghosts, people would wear masks when they went out after the dark so that the ghosts would mistake them for fellow spirits. Nowadays, people make it spookier. They supplant the mask with some scary costume that stimulate some characters in film, such as Grim Reaper, Death Knight, and so on, but the concept still remains the same.
Oh, a little bit superstitious, eh?
You can tell, fella. Aside from the costumes, we cannot ignore the trick-or-treat as well.
And what do you know about that?
The American Halloween tradition of trick-or-treating probably dates back to the early All Souls Day parade in England. During the festivities, poor citizens would beg for food and families would give them some pastry called sour cakes in return for their promise to pray for the family's dead relatives. The distribution of sour cakes would encouraged by the church as a way to replace the ancient practice of leaving food and wine for roaming spirits. The practice, which was referred to as going a souling, was eventually taken by children who would visit the houses in their neighborhood and be given ale, food, and money.
Interesting. Is there anything else?
Well, Halloween is also a perfect time for families in USA to have a family reunion. Huang. They often bake some cakes and decorate it with some plastic stickers, black widows, or even strawberries jam resembling blood, and make some candies for some kids when they knock the door and beg for some, you know.
Yeah, I think they might look really disgusting though.
Quite reserved, Huang. They look gorgeous. Besides, the most important thing is that everyone has a good time doing things together.
Agreed. This event also spread to many countries in the world, including Vietnam. I wonder what they do in this day.
I don't know about the activities people often do in the other countries, but in Vietnam, the young often hang out together as usual, making reservations in some restaurants and gather all their friends to have parties, you know. So many people celebrate it, not really in the orthodox way.
Oh, okay. I'm so satisfied about all the info you gave us.
I'm glad you like that, man. Well, folks, the end of our radio online this time. Hope you guys enjoy.
You've just listened to the very first episode of Radio Online series presented by English Club of Banking Academy this year. If you like this video, please click on subscribe. For more information about Radio Online, please visit our website www.inclubva.org. That's it for today. See you all in our next show with more fun.
Bye bye!